So the deputy basically said anytime this happens, they
It's really hard to think that people would steal from, well, anyone really, but especially stealing from a young family. So we were victims of check fraud. And looking back at the whole situation, there were a lot of red flags that should have like grabbed my attention that I just kind of ignored. So I posted our van, Toyota Sienna, 2018 Toyota Sienna, for sale on both Facebook and Craigslist last Monday. And so a couple days went past and I didn't really get much action, and then I got a call from somebody who was interested in the van, kind of an older gentleman, asked a bunch of questions about it. And so like really the only thing that was wrong with the van was that the bumper has some scratches on it, so it probably needs to be repainted. And it's like, oh yeah, my son can take care of that. And so we talked about the price, and he said if everything checks out that he'll take the van. And so his son came down, took the van for a test drive, and handed me over the check with the price that we agreed on. Of course, it's COVID, so the guy wore a mask the entire time, so I didn't really get a good view. And it was nighttime, so it was pretty dark. So our security cameras, yeah, they got like the car that came in, but you know, there's just no way that we could get the license plates off of it. So the guy that picked it up, the son, gave me his dad's information, driver's license number, birthday, address, everything, and gave me a cashier's check from Commerce Bank that looked perfect. And so the title has a lien on it. So that means that they cannot register the vehicle without like a notary signed lien release statement from US Bank. So there's no way that they can title the vehicle. However, I handed over the keys and they took the van. So now we have no van, and we have a check that it didn't even bounce. So, and a check that didn't go through. So we are victims of check fraud, and we don't have a van. I called Toyota, so the van is equipped with a system that can track the vehicle. So we know that so I reported the vehicle stolen, kind of. So the deputy that came and took our story said, well, technically it's not stolen because we handed over the keys. After we settled on the deal, we handed over the keys. And he also said that since the check didn't actually go through, like the bank denied it, that's technically, he said that their prosecutor wouldn't prosecute the person for check fraud. So Toyota has located the vehicle, and they have alerted the authorities, and it's in Kentucky. We live in Missouri. We're not sure how that's going to play out. So we're not sure if the Kentucky police are going to go impound the vehicle. We don't know. Toyota's going to be in touch with us. The plates, our plates were still on the Toyota.
Here.
You need help, buddy? Our plates are still on the car. So we reported our plates as stolen. So at least our plates are stolen. So the cops will see that if they you know, pull them over. If those plates are still on the vehicle. We don't know that either. So some red flags were that they had a cashier's check. We should have never given him the car without that being cleared first. The thing is, I've bought 4 or 5 vehicles off of either Facebook or Craigslist that I've literally paid with a cashier's check, that I took the car home before the check had cleared.
The deputy said that even if the check cleared, sometimes 2 weeks later, the bank realizes they can't get the funds, and then they just remove the money from your account. Even if you do a cashier's check, the check clears, you're still not okay. FYI.
Yeah, so, ugh. So anyway, so it was the guy's son that came and picked up the vehicle. That was a red flag. What other red flags were there, honey?
There was no information about the person on the cashier's check. It wasn't a totally legit cashier's check because there was
Yeah, the cashier's check.
identifying information of the person.
Yeah, the cashier's check didn't have any Although, do they? Do they usually?
You also have no idea what the guy's name is. All we have.
The guy that picked up the vehicle.
Right. All we have is his phone number. He doesn't even have a voicemail set up. We don't know his name. We don't know his information at all. We have no information on that guy. He came after dark.
Mm-hmm. He had a mask on. Yeah, so he came after dark. He had a mask on. I mean, all these red flags that are just like, I should not have handed over the keys. So what are they gonna do with the vehicle since they can't register it? They'll probably part it out. I mean, it was a really great, mechanically sound Toyota. So I'm sure they'll just part it out. You know, probably drive it down to Florida or somewhere down south, far away from here, and just part it out. It's gonna be interesting to see if we get it back or not. Hopefully, you know, because it has the tracking system, at least Toyota knows where the car is. Whether or not the police will get it back for us, I don't know, because their hands are kind of tied since it's technically not a stolen vehicle. So, I mean, it just seems like the system that's in place favors the thief rather than the seller, which is frustrating. We also live near, so the deputy that came said that, you know, now this is a civil case, so we can sue the person that picked up the vehicle. But we don't know who that is. It was the son of the person that, you know, whose driver's license number we have. Which they did run, like the cop ran the driver's license. It's a real person. His driver's license is revoked right now, but it is a real person. But so the deputy said that this is a civil matter now. And so we would have to sue that person to get our money or get the van back. We live right near a toll bridge. The toll bridge also has security cameras. So the deputy is going to get the toll bridge photos of, you know, hopefully if they use the toll bridge, because there's like 2 ways to get to our house. So hopefully they use the toll bridge. And so hopefully he'll get their photo from that. So if you have any experience at all, if this has ever happened to you, please reach out. Our email address is down below. Please send us an email. If you know, like if you have any connections whatsoever that possibly could help us, please let us know. If you just want to send us prayers, please do that. You know, this is a lot. This was a lot of money that we're just out. So I'm really embarrassed. But you know, that's kind of the reason that we started this whole YouTube channel. You know, we struggled with infertility, and it was my problem. And so that was embarrassing. And so this is also super embarrassing. But, you know, I think that's one of the good things about YouTube is that you can learn from others' mistakes. You know, as long as the person, like us, will put it out there, other people can learn from it. So, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. Probably will never get the van back. We'll probably out all that money. But keep a lookout. It's a 2018 Toyota Sienna. So if you're, yeah, we would just really like if you could help us. And yeah, please just leave a comment with any suggestions. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Hey girl, that looks a little bit like a choking hazard. Does it go up there? Wow. Okay, are you supposed to put that in your mouth? No. Can you go, no. No. So we're getting these kids in bed. Let me offer you a slightly different perspective on this whole situation. So I'm the wife of this scenario and was not involved really in any of the process of the selling of the van. I knew that there was a guy that was interested, and Brad kind of vaguely told me the story that he was coming to see the van, blah-de-blah, and I was actually inside putting the kids to bed when all of this went down. So all I knew was someone was coming to look at the van, and I also knew that he was stopping to get a cashier's check on the way here, so it sounded promising that we were going to sell the van. Very exciting, especially since we had just listed it the day or two before. So we were really excited. We also had just purchased an RV and a truck, and although those two things really did not, like, we weren't depending on selling the van because of those two things, we just realized with the purchase of the truck we didn't need the van as well, because we had enough room in the truck to have all three kids in their car seats and stuff in the back. We were going to get a bed cover. It didn't make sense to have the van and the truck, so we decided to sell it. It wasn't like we were in a rush to sell it. It was just really awesome that it was sold quickly. So anyway, this person comes and he gets there. He was supposed to get there earlier in the evening, I think, and ended up getting there later. It was like 9 o'clock. So I was in the thick of putting everybody to bed and doing all of that while Brad took care of everything outside. And when he came back in, I remember asking him, was it a nice guy? Did he have a young family? I just kind of wanted to know the details of who purchased our van, just to kind of visualize the family that would be in it next. I came in here to get the kids' pajamas and I'm just sitting here blabbing. And as soon as I grab pajamas out of here and bring them out, Lyndle is going to say, I don't want to wear those jammies. She's going to want to pick them herself, but we'll see. So anyway, that was my perspective on the whole deal. Brad came in and I said, what was he like? Did he have a young family? And immediately Brad was like, oh no, he was picking it up for his dad. And that was my first clue that, like, this sounds a little bit shady. And I didn't say anything at the time, but like, a guy coming all the way here and his dad buying the van sight unseen. And I remember being like, oh, so is he getting a van so he can haul around grandkids or what? And Brad was like, I don't know. That was kind of my first red flag. And then didn't really think anything of it. And then the next day on my lunch break at work, I took the check to deposit it and was kind of holding my breath as this process occurred, and went through, you can only go through the drive-through deposit, you can't go in. And so went through the drive-through deposit, everything went through fine, and I was like, great. If there were any hang-ups on that, it would have happened, then we should be good. Then of course the check was pending all weekend, and it wasn't until end of business day yesterday or this morning that we realized that it did not go through. And so started getting sick to my stomach then, and after 1 or 2 phone calls with the bank, it started sinking in that this is probably not good. And then Brad called, or I called Brad or something, and he goes, yeah, the more I think about this, this is not good. And so he started realizing all of the red flags that happened along the way, and just the whole situation. Like, these are obviously professional scam artists and know what they're doing. But as a so okay, that was like the beginning of the day, was calling the bank, The first person I talked to at the bank was like, oh, I'm really worried for you. It was kind of frustrating because every person I talked to along the way, I talked to the local branch, I talked to the branch manager in St. Louis, and then I talked to like the national chain of US Bank, and I kind of explained the story to all of them because each one of them was referring to the next person to get the hold off of the check. Each time they're like, oh, never ever hand over a car and a title without money in your hand. And of course we thought we had money in our hand, but also of course, like, now is not the time to be telling us that. It's just really frustrating to hear that when you're in the moment of being a victim of this type of scam. It's really frustrating to hear what you should have done. Anyway, we would really love to know what we should do moving forward. So if you have any advice on that, please let us know. But if you just want to like shake your finger at us and say you never should have done that, then maybe skip it.
Nope. It just says.
Side note, I don't know if you're new here or not, but I have generalized anxiety disorder. So I've had a day of doing everything I possibly can to hold off a panic attack, like a full-blown panic attack, which I think I've only had 2 of in my life, but they can happen. And you can kind of feel it when it's like getting ready to happen. So I'm just doing everything I can to breathe through that. All right, I got your jammies.
Oh, bear! You got a bear on your.
You wanna wear these?
You have a bear.
I know my turtle pajamas.
You wanna wear your turtle pajamas?
Yep, they're green.
You wanna go pick them out? Okay.
No, they're in the washing machine.
They are in the washing machine. Your turtle pajamas are in the washing machine. Are you sure?
Yeah, I think she wore them last night, didn't she?
Okay. Well, so they're in the, not the washing machine, but her turtle pajamas, no, I don't think she wore a turtle. If you have no ideas of how you can help us, we're getting obviously very desperate at this point, but if you can't think of anything you can, like, that we can do with this situation, then at the very least, share this video and inform people that some people can get away with literally stealing a car without paying for it, obtaining a vehicle without paying for it, and get away with it. It can happen, and they can do it right under your nose, and they can seem legit, but they checked their boxes and they covered their butts just enough that there's nothing, like, the vehicle's not stolen because we gave it to them, and the check that they gave us, the bank never even tried to process, so we can't go after them for the felony of a fraudulent check because the bank never even tried to process it. So my point is, people need to know, I know people know that you need to protect yourself when you're selling anything over, I'm just gonna give you the number. This is a $25,000 mistake. So you just need to protect yourself and get this out there so that people know. If you're selling a vehicle, you cannot trust anybody, even if the check clears. I don't even know what to tell you about that whole scenario because the deputy scared me to death, saying even if we had deposited the check and it cleared, then 2 weeks later, they could have figured out that it was fraudulent. So I don't even know what to tell you about selling anything. But let people know, don't ever sell anything. I'm kidding, but seriously.
Hey, why'd you stop it? Is there a copyright law on YouTube?
I do like that.
I can't believe she's gonna be a year old in like 4 days.
Go girl, go girl.
Hey Lyndle, are you excited for Eloise's birthday party?
Yep.
Yeah. Do you know what her theme is?
Always want this.
She wants to play?
that.
Yeah.
I just got this for my birthday.
I think you got it for like 2 Christmases ago.
Stop.
When is your birthday?
January 2nd.
That's it.
Really? Really?
Ready? Go girl. Go girl. Go girl. Woo!
She's not. Now she's awake.
I think what this means ultimately is that we just need to have more kids so we can populate this world with good people to offset the bad.
What do you think, Bear? Do you want a brother or a sister? Do you want another brother or sister?
Would now be a good time to ask about that again, or no?
Luckily, we're not able to afford an embryo transfer right now.
She's gonna open.
All right, ladies. So here's the plan. Eloise, I'm going to take you, read you a book, nurse you, put you to bed. Daddy's going to read you a book, and you a book, and put you guys in bed. What book are you going to read?
The feelings book.
The feelings book? Good choice, Bear. Are you cool with the feelings book? You good with that?
He doesn't care.
Okay.
He likes all books.
All right. And you guys remember your job. Please share this video with anybody you think might be naive. Would you call us naive?
Yes.
Trusting?
Yeah.
If you know anybody who has faith in humanity, share this video and get our story out so that nobody else will suffer like we are. It's gonna be okay though. It's gonna be just fine. At the end of the day, it's just money. We still have each other. We still have our health. It's all gonna be just fine.
Honey, if we were broke, I'd still be the happiest man on the planet.
That's really, really sweet. Ditto. That's good because we are. Okay, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button if you think that this is super crappy, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye.